2024 NFL Draft is in the books, and Eliot Wolf made several selections. We're going to break them all down here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Before we do that and hand out grades for every pick, help us out. We're trying to get to 11,000 subscribers here on the channel. We're just over 500 away. Can we get there as soon as possible? We would appreciate it. Hit that sub button. Daily Patriots videos for 100% free coming your way here on Patriots Today. All right, we'll start with Drake Maye. I gave it an A on Thursday night. I'm keeping it an A here for the New England Patriots. He was my second best quarterback in this draft. You get him with the third pick and as the third overall quarterback after Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. I think this was the right move. There was chatter they could trade down and get more assets and this and that, but when you're picking that high and you have a quarterback available that has the tools to be a franchise guy and you don't have one, I just think you have to take that player, and that's what the Patriots did here with Drake Maye. His numbers dipped a little bit this past year in comparison to 2022, but I also think he had worse circumstances, less talent at receiver. Tez Walker missed like the first 4 or 5 games due to NCAA issue. The offensive line struggled. They had a new offensive coordinator. The defense was terrible, so Drake Maye was chasing the big play probably a little bit too much, which led to some bad habits at times. But he's got a rocket for an arm. He's built like Justin Herbert. He can move like Josh Allen. He's got huge tools. We'll see when he's the starter. Is he a day one starter? Is Brissett? I kind of think Brissett starts at first. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. A grade for me. I'm excited about it. And then you go get him a weapon after a small trade down. Jalen Polk, the wide receiver out of Washington, number 37 overall, second round pick here for Mr. Polk. B+ for me. Really good pick. I thought there was maybe 1 or 2 receivers I liked a little bit more that were still available at the time, but still good overall. He's honestly very similar to his college teammate Rome Odunze. I would just say he's like 85% of Odunze. Not as athletic, not as fast, but similar game. Plays through contact, can adjust to the football in the air. You can get that back shoulder game going with him, and I think that's an area him and Drake Maye can really build and connect together. He put up huge numbers in that Washington offense despite being the number 2 guy. Almost had 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. Big play machine like you see with the yards per catch as well. I really like this pick. Peter Schrager reported that there was some chatter he could go in the first round, so he was a riser throughout the draft process. Get him at 37 overall. I certainly feel pretty decent about this if I am New England. How excited are you for Drake Maye and Jalen Polk, this new combination in New England? Scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being extraordinarily excited. Give us your thoughts in the comments about your excitement level for Drake Maye and Jalen Polk. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Listen, you want to go watch this new duo in Foxborough this fall? Game Time is the place to go. You can get $20 off when you download the Game Time ticketing app right now with code CHATSPORTS after you create your account today. Link is in the comments and description of this video. You can go check out the Red Sox, the Bruins, the Celtics, concerts, comedy shows. If you live in another area outside of that's not Boston, there's always events to go to, always tickets that need to be purchased, and get out of the house, go enjoy life, and get so at a reasonable price as Game Time specializes in last-minute tickets for the lowest price guaranteed. I'll tell you what, there are several times when I wake up on the day of an event, and I'm like, you know what, I just want to go. I say, hey, honey, my wife, Hannah, let's go to this concert tonight. Boom, get the best tickets available from Game Time. Go check it out. Download the app today. Use code CHATSPORTS. That's going to get you $20 off at checkout. We appreciate them for sponsoring our draft coverage. Caedan Wallace, the offensive tackle out of Penn State, B- grade for me. It's in the B realm because offensive tackle is a need, but I thought it was a little early for me. Also, he played exclusively right tackle in college, which you have in Micah Winu. Do they think he's ready to kick over to left tackle at a high level? We'll see. Does have 40 starts under his belt at Penn State. Got a little bit better each and every year, which I obviously like as well. But that is my main question. Can he play on the left side? Is he a day one starter? Does he compete? I think he's probably a swing tackle at first, and they go with either McDermott or Okorafor. You look at his PFF grades from last year, just under 70 overall, better pass blocker than run blocker. Again, plenty of experience, 40 starts under his belt in 4 seasons in Happy Valley, but none at left tackle. So that's my one question. Now, maybe he just didn't play left tackle because they had Olu Fashanu. That could be a reason too, and maybe the Patriots are confident in his ability to flip. But it's not as easy as it sounds. I think people are just like, oh, just put him on the other side. Well, you're kind of having to learn your footwork backwards. Like, it's a whole different deal. Like, I had a scout tell me one time, or I asked him, hey, how do you describe going from right tackle to left tackle, right guard to left guard? He said basically it would be like, hey, if you wipe your ass with your right hand, now you got to do it with your left. Sure, you can do it, but it's not going to be as smooth at first, right? Like, it's going to take some reps. So keep that in mind. Kind of a gnarly analogy there, but that's how I would describe it. Layden Robinson, the offensive guard out of Texas A&M. I'm going to give this one a C. Feels like a reach. I get it. Beefing up that offensive line's never a bad thing, but we didn't have him as a guy that was going to get drafted, and the Patriots took him early, round 4, so that's a reach for us. ESPN is another reference. Mel Kiper had him as the 320th prospect on his board. Maybe the Patriots see a higher-level player here. Obviously, analysts, experts get it wrong all the time, but based on our big board and where we felt like he was penciled in, C grade here. His PFF stuff kind of all in the 60s here. We'll see. The good news is he's not going to be a starter. It's a depth pick here, so there's nothing wrong with adding offensive line depth. I like it from that standpoint, which is why it's still a passing grade. By the way, C isn't bad. It's just fine. But I just thought it was a little early. I thought it was a bit of a reach. But Layden Robinson, you add some depth to that offensive line here in the 4th round. This 4th-round pick is an A+. Javon Baker. I think out of all the value in this draft, this was the best one for New England. The UCF wide receiver, I thought he was worthy of a 3rd-round pick for sure, maybe even a 2nd. This guy is arguably the best contested catch guy in this draft. His contested catch rate was like 60% last year. He averaged over 21 yards per catch, which is just an outrageous number for the Golden Knights as well. Almost 22 per catch right there. And on high volume, 52 catches to still average over 20 yards per catch, much less 22, is impressive. 7 touchdowns. I like that the Patriots double-dipped at receiver with 2 bigger guys. Bye-bye Juju Smith-Schuster. That's kind of my first thought. We'll see. You got competition at receiver now. We'll see who the cream of the crop are as they rise up. You needed to add weapons. And I like this. Up to this point, all offensive selections for the New England Patriots up to this point in time. All right, Marcellas Dial. Not going to spend too much time here on this one, but you get into the 6th, 7th round. C+ here. Again, he wasn't really on our radar in terms of our draft big board here at Chat Sports, but there's not really a bad pick this late in the draft. C+ offers some depth here. Nothing too much to see in that regard. Last year had 36 tackles. I suppose the Patriots could need some corner help, so I don't mind that to add him here. Coverage grade 78.2 is pretty solid, 10 breakups, so he has some skills, but again, I guess this might be your CB4, CB5. C+, nothing too much to see here as far as I'm concerned. Bit of a wowzer here. Joe Milton, who has a howzer here. Joe Milton, the Tennessee quarterback. They double dip at QB. Kind of like it. B grade for me. Not going to give it an A when you already drafted a quarterback, and he's probably going to be your QB3 behind Drake Maye and Jacoby Brissett. My first reaction as well, goodbye Bailey Zappi. I don't think he's on this football team, but Milton can throw the football 80 yards. Maybe the Patriots have a vision for him in a short yardage package. Who knows? He's 6'6", 250, can really run. He had really bad receivers at Tennessee last year, yet he still completed 65% of his passes. Did a good job taking care of the football, just 5 interceptions, 20 touchdowns. I don't think he's ever a full-time starter in this league, but maybe he's a competent backup, and he's certainly an exciting one with the arm talent he has. The beauty of this situation is he'll be your QB3 because you've got Jacoby Brissett and Drake Maye, so it's not like you're going to need him to play. I'm telling you this right now, preseason fireworks are coming your way in Foxborough. Joe Milton will be a fun watch in the preseason. Do you like the Joe Milton pick? Would you have taken another player at a different position? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I do like it in the 6th round. Again, I don't love it. B grade. I like it. But this late in the draft, why not take a swing at a guy who has crazy physical talent? Speaking of crazy physical talent, Jaheim Bell. I cannot believe the Florida State tight end fell to the 7th round. I mean, he's one of the better red zone receiving tight ends in this draft. 500 yards last year, had a couple of touchdowns for the Seminoles. And you get him in round 7, it's an A+ for me. I mean, the value is just too good. And again, 6th, 7th round, you're not going to have a failing grade. But I really like the value. To get a guy that I thought could go in the middle rounds, almost damn near the end of the draft, I mean, I'm a big fan of that for Eliot Wolf. And quite frankly, I thought this was a pretty good draft for New England overall. If I had to grade the entire draft, I'd go A-. I think Eliot Wolf did pretty good. My biggest question now is the right coaching staff in play? You got a first-time head coach, first-time defensive coordinator, first-time offensive coordinator. But if I'm grading it as a whole, A-. I'm excited about what Eliot Wolf and this scouting staff did with their preparations and what they ended up with during the NFL draft. And I think you guys should be as well. Give us your letter grade for the Patriots as a whole in the comments. And be sure to subscribe for more videos. Let's get to 11,000 subscribers.